The good news is that when we get this pullback, this previous these bottoms are now going to start to act as support. So we've got some initial support being set up here for a correction. Again, markets are starting to get a little bit overbought here. We're not grossly overbought on a momentum basis, but markets have been doing well here. So expect, potentially after today, tomorrow, early next week, that you're going to get a little bit of a relaxation here in the markets. Here's what you need to know before the bell. I'm actually going to pull through a couple of different charts today. So we're going to move kind of quickly this morning. But again, as we kind of talked about yesterday, the good news yesterday in particular, because we did start out a little bit weak in the morning, is that the market is still holding on to this. It got above this this resistance level before this morning. In particular, we're going to take out the 50-day moving average. So this open this morning is going to pull us above the 50-day moving average. So we've now taken out this 20-day moving average. We took out this resistance that was previously here, those bottoms, kind of the pre-tariff. We've taken that resistance level out. We're going to take out the 50-day today. So the good news is that sets us up for a rally up to about 5,700 potentially. If Apple and Amazon have good earnings tonight, then that's going to give the market this ability to push up here towards 5,700. But that's where we're going to run into the 200-day. You got the 100-day sitting right above it. So again, there's a good bit of resistance here. Now, importantly, we've had 7 days of advance in a row. That's a fairly long streak in terms of market advances. So yesterday, Mike and I added to our short position in the S&P 500. Again, it's just a hedge for downside risk here temporarily. But the expectations is that we're certainly going to get this rally today, maybe a little bit more tomorrow, but you're going to get a pullback somewhere. And the good news is that when we get this pullback, this previous these bottoms are now going to start to act as support. So we've got some initial support being set up here for a correction. Again, markets are starting to get a little bit overbought here. We're not grossly overbought on a momentum basis, but markets have been doing well here. So expect, potentially after today, tomorrow, early next week, that you're going to get a little bit of a relaxation here in the markets. Markets probably are not going to retest these lows, but a retest of that previous set of bottoms around 5,200 would not be a surprise at all. Now, one thing that we talked about previously is that when you started getting this rally in the market's going to start looking for sources of liquidity. And that source of liquidity was, as we kind of talked about previously, was going to be gold, because gold has been such a huge winner here during that whole kind of corrective tariff period. Gold was a very, very big winner. And so you had this very big sharp rise in gold prices. Everybody got very excited. We talked about that's going to be the source of liquidity, because this is where all the money was hiding. It was coming out of bonds because of the basis trade, coming out of the stock market because of the tariff trade. And so since that, now that the markets are recovering, people are selling gold here to go back to buy other assets, so stocks and bonds. You triggered a MACD sell signal from a very, very elevated level. You're not oversold yet on a basis, so you've got downside risk right now in gold to about 3,080, somewhere around there. That will probably give you the best entry point if you want to try to add gold to your portfolio. Start looking for support around the 50-day moving average. That's been a good level of buys, actually kind of going back here for a while. The 100-day is sitting down there as well. That's around 2,900. So somewhere in that range, we'll probably get gold oversold enough to add it to your portfolio, et cetera. So if you're looking to add to your position, let this kind of correction process play through. You've got a very elevated MACD sell signal there as well. So that's going to give you a better opportunity to pick up some gold at cheaper prices. On the other side, oil is starting to look very appetizing here from a buy basis as well. We've gotten very oversold here, taking out some lows this morning. So we talked about before is that oil prices could get down into the low 50s. That's very possible. But you're getting decently oversold here. You've had a pickup on a sell signal. You're very oversold. This momentum sell is coming at a very, very low levels. So looking for somewhere around probably mid 50s to low 50s. You're probably going to get a decent entry point for oil prices as well. So, think about energy stocks as well in your portfolio. But you're getting a really oversold condition in that commodity. So at some point, the sellers are going to get exhausted, and you're going to get a rally in oil prices as well. But that'll also coincide with the dollar in that position. That's what you need to know before the bell this morning.